If you like that B-roll, make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification icon to receive more tech content. Okay, back to the video. A lot has changed this past year. Working from home is starting to be more common than we ever thought it would. Having a work setup at home is important to make sure we feel we are being as productive as we would in our office. I wanted to take this opportunity to showcase my desk setup and hope this inspires you with your home setup in 2021. So let's get started with the look I was going for. I wanted my room to have as many white elements as possible because A, I love the color, and B, I wanted the room to look spacious. So I started with changing the color of my room to white. That by itself made the room look bigger than it was. I'm a minimalist and I really take the time when I'm building on something, so I didn't want to just fill up spaces. So let's start with the furniture. I went with the IKEA kitchen top. It's a Calbee 98-inch white top which is a walnut finish. Later on, I will let you know why I chose a desk this wide. Because of the width, I added a table leg from IKEA called Godwin in the middle of the desktop to give that extra stability. The tabletop sits on top of two IKEA Alex drawers. Again, I chose white to make my office look spacious. Each unit has 5 drawers, which is a lot of space for storage. I got an ergonomic office chair that does a good job, but I'm not a big fan of the mesh finish as it's irritable to the skin, especially in summer. I like the back profile of the chair and the lower back support it offers. I went with the black and grey finish to add a bit of contrast to my setup. I used this furniture setup for some time until I started experiencing back and neck fatigue from those long hours working in office. That's when I made the decision to transform my existing desk to also work as a standing desk. I went with the height adjustable frame instead of replacing my entire desk. The desk frame is from, let me try to pronounce this, Hyoja. I give up. The link is in the description below. The frame holds weight up to 270 pounds, which is quite strong. I chose white so that the frame blends in with my desk drawers. It has a memory setting of up to 4 adjustments. I use 1 and 2 for standing and seating. The additional 2 settings can be very helpful if you have family members who may also want to use your desk. I attach the controls using screws to the edge of the desk. By the way, every single item that I mentioned in my desk setup is linked in the description below. Moving to what's on my desk. Let's start with the showstopper, my monitor screen. I got LG's 49-inch 4K ultra-wide curved screen. That's a mouthful. When I started planning my desk setup, I wanted to first decide on a monitor and then build my desk around it. And that is why I went with a tabletop with the maximum width that was available to accommodate my ultra-wide screen. So why did I choose a screen of this size? I didn't want to have more than one monitor just to increase productivity. Since I was going for minimalism, I wanted one monitor to do it all. My 49-inch screen has a resolution of 5120 by 1440 pixels and is equal to 2 27-inch screens put together. I like that you can have multiple windows open in the same screen. That really makes work so much more productive. Because of its wide profile, editing my videos is so much easier. I can see so much of my timeline in one screen without having to scroll. That was one of the main reasons why I went that crazy and bought the wider screen that was available. I don't like the stand that comes with the monitor because it takes up too much desk space. The monitor is mounted on an arm from a brand called Wally that can hold up to 33 pounds, which is perfect to hold the weight of my super wide monitor. The monitor arm gives that minimalistic look with the illusion of a floating monitor. And unlike many monitor arms, there is no branding that is visible up front. My monitor input comes from my 16-inch MacBook Pro to a single USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable that outputs video and also charges the laptop at the same time. I tried to spec out my MacBook to the best configuration that made sense to me so that I future-proof my most expensive investment. Okay, here's another mouthful. I went with the 2.3 GHz 8-core 9th generation i9 processor with 8 gigs of DDR RAM, and I upgraded my SSD to 2 terabytes. Because my MacBook was space gray, I wanted to introduce more gray peripherals on the desk. The laptop rests on an adjustable aluminum alloy stand that is minimal in design. I wanted the laptop to look like it's floating, which also helps with heat dissemination. I don't shock my laptop when I'm using the monitor because I'm never satisfied with screen real estate. For file transfers, I use the USB-C hub, which I got from Amazon. The hub has 2 USB-A ports, one SD, one micro SD slot, and one USB-C port. I got the hub in gray to match my space gray MacBook, but I only attach it when I'm transferring files. For my mouse and keyboard, I went with the popular combination that everybody loves. And me too. The Logitech MX Keys and MX Master 3. The ergonomics of the MX Master 3 really helps with the fatigue during those long working hours. One thing that I really love about it is its horizontal scroll and the back and forward buttons. Amazing for productivity. The build quality of the MX Keys is good. It's a bit heavy, which helps grip onto the desk quite well. The keys are inverted, soft to the click, responsive, and backlit, which only turns on when it senses your fingers. My version has both Windows and Mac keys, which is very helpful when I'm switching to my Windows laptop from time to time. Just below my monitor is my wireless charging dock from UTech on Amazon that charges my iPhone, Apple Watch, and the AirPods Pro. These noise cancellation earbuds have worked pretty well for me while editing videos. I didn't really find the need to buy expensive over-the-ear headphones. By the way, I do not have a notepad on my desk because I take notes digitally using the Note app. And that means less clutter on my desk. My room is never complete without an Amazon Echo device, which is integral to my smart home setup. I added the Amazon Echo Show 5 to my office setup that shows me the latest news, helps me add and show events from my calendar, controls my office lights, along with other lists of endless Amazon skills. The LED lamp on my desk is from a brand called Show, which I picked up from Amazon. I love the unique design concept of switching the lamp on by aligning 2 magnetic wooden balls close to each other. It is a perfect accent light that is dimmable with the option to switch between warm and cool light effects. The sleek, futuristic design takes up very less desk space. By the way, the lamp is rechargeable, so you can use it without keeping it plugged in. And for me, that's one less cable to worry about. By the side of my desk, I have a snake plant, which is an air purifier in large white vase that I picked up from IKEA. Now let's talk about the one thing we really hate to see. I think you know what I'm talking about. Cables. I have tried to hide as many cables as I can, and I think I did a pretty good job. There are just 3 places where the cable is visible, and I couldn't avoid it. And honestly, I don't really mind it. There is one cable from the monitor to the laptop, a small portion of the monitor power cable that cannot be hidden, and the main cord that sources the power to everything on my desk. To hide all the cables, I first got a power strip that I attached underneath the desk with the help of screws. I made sure the power cord was white to blend in with the white wall. The power strip has a decent number of ports, 7 AC outlets and 3 USB-A ports. Next, I used Velcro cable ties to bundle up the extra cord and then attach the cables using adhesive cable clips and zip ties for the thick cables. So even when I'm standing and working, you cannot see any of those cables. I really wanted to take this time to talk about cable management because when it's done right, even the most simplest desk setup is pleasing to the eye. For the sound in my office, I went with the Sonos setup, 2 Play 5s and a sub. You might say playing audio from a laptop directly to Sonos is not possible. Yes, that's true. But for me, I use the Sonos setup to only listen to my music through Spotify Connect. For everything else, I have my AirPods. I have Sonos speakers in different rooms, and for me, it only made sense to remain in that ecosystem. Most of my light setup in the office is from Philips Hue. I change my color theme based on my mood. So what makes up this setup? I have a Philips Hue light strip at the back of the desk. I also have a set of Philips Hue play bars hidden behind the drawers to add another color shade. I also have a standing lamp on the other side of the room that uses a Philips Hue bulb and lights up the other half of my office. I also control my lights using the Philips Hue switch from time to time. By the way, if you're running cables over the light strip, make sure to align them between the LEDs or else you will start seeing shadows of the cable on the wall. So that was my desk setup. I wanted to make sure my office followed a theme that was easy on the eye, given everything I wanted to fit in one small space. Because the desk was the central focus, I made sure only the tabletop was a wood finish. Everything else that was bulky and took up space was white to make the room look spacious and less crowded. This is Ben from Technologically Curious, and this was my desk setup for 2021.